Jessica Radcliffe, a name that came out of nowhere, a face that carried silence, pain, and something hauntingly human. She never gave an interview. She never spoke a word. Yet her presence alone was enough to stop the world.
Ow.
For millions, she became a mystery. For some, a symbol of strength. For others, a ghost they couldn't explain. But behind the viral storm of her name lies a shocking truth. One that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the internet. It began with a single clip, just a few seconds. A girl with quiet eyes, staring as if the weight of the world rested on her shoulders. That short moment spread like wildfire. Within hours, it was everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. People shared it, not because they knew her, but because they felt her. The video carried no explanation, no background, just her face. And that was enough to trigger millions of hearts. Strangers wept, communities prayed. Entire conversations started with one question: who is Jessica Radcliffe? And then came the stories. People began filling in the blanks themselves. Some said she was a young girl from a broken home. Others imagined she had lost her family in an accident. A few claimed she was a survivor of tragedy, fighting to live another day. The internet stitched together details: a house in the countryside, a childhood spent drawing by the window, dreams of becoming an artist. None of this was confirmed. None of it was true. But each piece made her feel more real, and that was enough for millions to believe. What made Jessica different was not her story, but the silence around it. In her silence, people projected their own grief, their own struggles. To some, she looked like a daughter they lost. To others, she reminded them of their own childhood pain. She became a mirror, a symbol, a vessel for collective emotion. That is why her name refused to fade away. That is why, even after months, people still searched for her. She wasn't just a girl in a video. She was everyone's memory. But here's the truth: Jessica Radcliffe never existed. She wasn't a survivor. She wasn't a daughter. She wasn't even real. The video that shook the world was fake. Her identity was fabricated. Her story, a digital illusion. Jessica was not flesh and blood. She was pixels and imagination, created, shared, and magnified until fiction felt like reality. You may ask, how could so many fall for a lie? The answer is simple: because Jessica wasn't about facts, she was about feelings. We live in a world where emotion spreads faster than truth, where a single image can be more powerful than an entire article. People wanted to believe. They needed to believe. Because through Jessica, they saw their own pain, their own hope, their own struggles. She may have been fake, but the emotions she awakened were real, and that is why she became unforgettable. But here's the chilling part. If Jessica Radcliffe wasn't real, then where did her video come from? Who created her face? And what was their purpose? Was it an experiment, a hoax, or something much bigger? Into the digital shadows where Jessica was born, we uncover the psychology, the creators, and the reason why millions were drawn into her illusion. Jessica Radcliffe may not have existed, but her impact on the world is impossible to erase. Jessica Radcliffe, the girl who shook the internet, was never real. But that leaves us with one haunting question. If she never existed, then who created her? And why was she given to the world in the first place? At first, investigators searched for a real Jessica. Hospitals, schools, local records, nothing. Then came a deeper dive into the video itself, pixel by pixel, frame by frame. The answer slowly appeared. Her face wasn't natural. Her expressions weren't entirely human. Jessica Radcliffe wasn't filmed, she was generated. Jessica's face was created using artificial intelligence, a combination of stock images, deep learning, and human imagination. She wasn't a person. She was a project. Someone, somewhere, wanted to test just how far a lie could go. And the result? A digital ghost who fooled millions. But why did so many believe in her? Because Jessica carried the one thing the internet craves the most: emotion. She looked fragile. She looked broken. And in her silence, people saw their own pain. Psychologists call this projection. When we pour our feelings into someone else's image, even if that image isn't real. Jessica was never alive, but the emotions she awakened in people were very, very real. Jessica Radcliffe wasn't the first viral illusion, and she won't be the last. We live in a time where a fake video can reach millions in hours, where deepfakes can make anyone say anything, where lies can travel faster than truth. Jessica's story is a warning, because if a ghost like her could rise and take over the world, imagine what else could be created tomorrow. So the real mystery is not about Jessica anymore. The real mystery is about us. Why are we so quick to believe? Why do we let our hearts guide us more than our minds? Jessica Radcliffe may have been fake, but she revealed something very real about humanity. And in part 3, we will uncover the darker side of this illusion, the masterminds who create these digital ghosts, and the dangerous future they are leading us toward. Jessica Radcliffe, a girl who never lived, yet changed millions of lives. In part 1, we discovered she was an illusion. In part 2, we learned she was born from artificial intelligence. But the question still remains. Who created her, and why did they unleash her on the world? Behind Jessica's ghostly smile, there was no single creator. Instead, there was a system. A group of digital architects testing new technology, tech companies, hidden labs, and even small anonymous creators experimenting with deepfakes. Jessica wasn't an accident. She was an experiment, and we were all the test subjects. How? To build Jessica, advanced AI tools were used. AI that can design human faces. AI that can generate emotions. AI that can even simulate memories. One click, and a new person is born. One algorithm, and millions are fooled. The line between real and fake has never been thinner. But the true danger is not the technology itself. It is the way our hearts respond to it. People cried for Jessica. They prayed for her. They fought for her, even though she never existed. And that reveals something terrifying. We are not ready for this future, a future where our emotions can be hijacked by something that isn't even human. Jessica Radcliffe's story is not just a mystery, it is a warning, because today it is a girl who never lived. Tomorrow, it could be a leader giving a speech they never said. It could be your loved one appearing in a video they never recorded. This is no longer just a story about Jessica. This is the story of all of us, living in a world where truth itself is under attack. So who created Jessica Radcliffe? The answer is both simple and terrifying. We did. Every view, every share, every tear we shed gave her life. She was nothing until we made her something. Jessica Radcliffe may not have been real, but she showed us the dark truth about the internet and about ourselves. This is not the end of her story. This is the beginning of a new era. An era where we must question everything we see. Because sometimes, the most powerful lies wear the face of innocence.